Hey everyone, and welcome back to another King Arthur Legends Rise video. So in today's video, guys, I'm going to be going over the list of things that I wish I knew before I started playing this game. You know, there's been some things that have been very apparent to me that if I would have followed this trajectory, I would be just so far ahead of everyone else, or at least my current self, my future self, if I were to follow this, would be so much further ahead than where I am currently in my account. And that's why I kind of wanted to bring this video to all of the people that are early on in this game to hopefully, switch up your tactics and maybe you follow this path. Now, I'm sure there's going to be things that are controversial in this video. It's my opinion. So you always want to take this with a grain of salt. Try and find other videos that other content creators or what the community has in store, because I'm one person, okay? But with that, let's start off with progression. Progression is always something that people feel like they're doing the wrong thing. And I can promise you that it's the same in here, okay? There are a lot of different currencies. A lot of different currencies in this game. Things to level up your heroes, to awaken them, to level up gear, to level up passives, and relics, and yada yada yada. If you focus on two main dungeons, you will just get so much further ahead than everybody else, and that is Plain of Beasts and Frozen Plain. The 0 to 60 of your heroes and then 0 to 60 of your relics will make the biggest boost to your individual characters. It's so far above all of the other things that these individual currencies can do for your account that if you just focus on Plain of Beasts and Frozen Plain, you will just be miles ahead of other people that are spreading out their stuff, throughout the course of their account. So if you're looking for trajectory, your path of progression is you start on Plain of Beasts, you get a couple core heroes together, which I'll talk about here in a second. You will then move on to Frozen Plain, get your relics up. Then once you have a decent team with level 60 characters and at least their relics to like level 30 or 40, you can then move on to this equipment dungeon. This top equipment dungeon is your next path. They have 3 very good sets here that drop themselves, and then they also drop the forging materials to go forge other important gear. After that, then the next thing that you're going to move on to and care about is your favorite dungeon. Your favorite dungeon is what awakens your characters. This is what allows you to unlock these bottom pieces of gear, which are so key to account progression, but it is further down the line than the other things that I told you. Do not spread yourself out too thin. It is not that important to do the favorite dungeons yet. You want to get your heroes from level 0 to 60, and then you want to have their relics 0 to 60. This is super key for your account to progress. Then after you've done your favorite dungeons, then you'll move on to the Sealed Temple. You'll start out with Master of Death, which is these talismans, and then you'll eventually move on to your tomes. This is for your relic skill ups, which is where you're going to get a lot of damage as well, but it is so late game, but I wanted to give you the full path of progression. Now, this is where things get controversial, okay? There are only 2 legendary heroes that truly matter in this game. And yes, I know people are screaming right now, but there's only 2. The first one is Morgan, who the game gives you. The game gives you this hero as soon as you start, and it's insane because she is by far, and I will die on this hill, she is by far the best legendary hero in the entire game. It's not even close. I don't want to hear Bedivere. I don't want to hear Gillian. None of those heroes come close to Morgan. Morgan can go in every single team that you run in every dungeon, and she will at least perform average, if not to amazing. All of her relics are really good, which you don't even need to worry about because her fire relic honestly might be her best relic. She has all amazing passives, all of them matter. Her skills on her fire relic also matter, but she is the most important hero. Other than her, the other second most important hero is Sergius, who is a farmable free character. All of the other legendaries that you could possibly pull, I won't say that they won't matter for your account, right? I've mentioned a couple of them already. Bedivere is fantastic. Gillian is fantastic. She's very good. Merlin's very good. Guinevere's very good. All of these heroes have a place and they can be very strong. But if you were to just have Morgan and you were to just have Sergius, that would literally be the only two legendary heroes that you would ever need to clear basically everything in this game. That can't be done with rare heroes. I do want to preface that. Like, if you don't use Morgan or Sergius, you're using rare heroes. Now, the thing with Sergius, though, is you do need to get his fire relic. He does not come with it. He comes with his storm relic, which is still good, but his fire relic is the most important. Now, the nice thing is you can actually farm Sergius and his relic. So in the arena, getting arena tokens is where you can get a copy of Sergius for 8,500 arena tokens. You should not buy anything else in here, which we'll talk about here in a bit, but Sergius first. Save up for Sergius. I know it feels like you're going to be missing out on things, but I promise this will help your account. You farm Sergius there, and then if you join a clan, you can save up 15,000 tokens, which I have not done. This is why I am suggesting it to you, is because if I would have done this, I would have been on stage 10 of all of the dungeons already if I had this relic. This relic right here, the Flame Relic, is the most important. It's amazing that the game gives you these heroes or ways to get them for free. It might be a grind, but you can do it for free, which is fantastic. Now, when talking about leveling up those characters, right? These passives can end up being very, very expensive with the currencies that are required. So if you look at someone who doesn't have their passives leveled up, like Claudus here, in order to skill this up, once I've already had some of these skill ups, I need a lot of these talismans, right? Now, these are specific to individual favors, which are different guilds or clans that these heroes might be involved in. Like Claudus is the Hound favor, whereas Morgan is the Serpent favor. So you will need Serpent-specific talismans to level these up. The nice thing is in the story mode, on your main story, the game does give you the opportunity to farm some of these in what they call a selector chest. So here you can get 5 of the talismans, and you can specifically select serpent talismans to level up your Morgan. So they give some of these away in the hard mode, which I think are certainly achievable with your with 3-starring this, getting 15 stars to get your talisman chest. You will use all of these into Morgan. Do not waste them on anybody else. You can if you want. It's obviously your account. You can do whatever you want. But if you spend all of these on Morgan, you won't even have to progress in the Sealed Temple as much as you think you would need to, because you're getting all of your talismans that you need from those selector chests instead of Serenos here. I think I still have a couple left. Yeah, see? So I still have 17 here available to me. You get these through playing the game. You can also get these from the adventure mode. They give them out here. When do they start? They start giving them out, on the 4th chapter. So all of these things go a long way. You want to use all of your talismans into Morgan's passive skills. They just amplify damage so much that if you get this ability, leveled up, it makes every dungeon so much easier. All right, so those two legendary heroes are the only thing that matters. And I know it's contrary to everything else that you've seen in other gacha games. Usually free heroes that games give you are good early on, but then they fall off. But it's so crazy that both Morgan and Sergius are actually fantastic endgame heroes. Like, they are in all endgame teams, even in Arena too. Okay, and that brings us to our next point, which is the free heroes that the game gives you, they are all good. Every single one of them, right? So the game gives you Morgan, which I've already said is the best free legendary. Kay, who is a fantastic storm rare damage dealer. She's very easy to build because on her base relic that she comes with, she gives herself critical strike rate increase, a buff that gives her 40% critical strike rate. So it's very easy to build her for damage because of this buff, and you're going to be using it all the time. So Morgan's amazing. Kay is absolutely fantastic. Tristan, the other free legendary that they give you by progressing in the game, is very good. He is nowhere near as good as Sergius is Morgan, but he is extremely serviceable early game. He's good against the two dungeons that I talked about, Frozen Plain and Plain of Beasts. So from account progression, he's a very, very good hero. On top of that, they give you Turin, who is probably the best healer from the rare spot for sure, and she even contends with some of the best healers in the legendary spot. The best thing about Turin is she pairs so well with Morgan. The game has these kind of element aspects to it, like nighttime. They also have like rain, sunshine, wind. I have a video on that, but depending on what element it is or environment it is, those heroes get boosts to specific stats, mainly attack speed. So if you have Turin paired with Morgan, Morgan's going to be faster. She's going to take less damage. Turin is an absolutely amazing healer. Amazing. The other free characters that they give you is Anguish. Anguish is amazing in Gorgos. You will use him all the way to level 10. You can use Anguish and Turin all the way to level 10. They are in my teams, so do not sleep on Anguish. Arthur, a lot of people crap on Arthur. He is not that bad. The thing is his baseline relic that he comes with, the fire relic, is not great. But as you progress to the story mode, the storm relic is an amazing relic for Arthur and makes him very, very strong. So he does great damage with this, and he also has good support abilities on this storm relic. So even Arthur is good. All of those heroes are completely free. And then if you want to, you can farm up Sergius, like I mentioned, which is just another great hero. Okay, so the game also has different shops in here, and I'm going to tell you the things that matter the most in these shops. This one is also going to be controversial. Okay, so in the arena, the thing that matters most, I already kind of mentioned it, is Sergius. I think you should just save all of your medals for Sergius first. Once you get him, then other things get more important, like the Frost Relic summon tickets and the stamina and the special summon tickets to get some cool legendaries or to get additional copies of your rares. Those things will matter. Now, a lot of people will probably say you should buy these Frost Relic summon tickets because you can only do this monthly and you might be able to get a really good relic. I understand that mindset, but I can honestly say that there's only 2 Frost Relics in the entire game that I think change a character. And that is Gillian, and that is Cormac. But I don't think it's worth sacrificing, 1,100 of those tokens when you can just use them on Sergius. This won't take as long as you think it will. So I think you should still prioritize this over these Frost Relics, because once you get Sergius, then you can just buy all of this stuff all you want. This stuff will stack up. You'll see how easy it is to do those things. So I would only prioritize Sergius here. Once you do that, then you can get these other 3 items, which make a whole lot of sense. Do not waste your stuff on the uncommons. Don't do those things. Florentius, he has some niche stuff here and there. Other copies of Tristan, it's whatever. You can do that later on, but really prioritize Sergius first. The other shop that you have in here is the clan shop. Same thing. You should only focus on the Sergius Flame Relic first. This one, I think, is more controversial than the arena one because the clan shop has other really, really valuable items in here. And that is the lumber chest and the iron chest. This is the best way to get wood and steel to upgrade your city. Now, if you were to go the route where you're, using your coins on the lumber chest and the iron chest, I don't know if that's going to destroy your account. I don't think it will. My account, that's what I did. I don't think it's been a waste. My account is fine, but again, if I had this flame relic from Sergius, I think my account would be progressing dungeons faster than it has. With that being said, the other really good item in here are these pedestals. These pedestals will be a roadblock for you to actually awaken your heroes. Awakening your heroes is what unlocks those equipments on the bottom part of your hero. So if you don't have a hero that is, 6-star awakened, you won't be able to unlock this last banner's keepsake, which actually offers some really great bonuses. I've talked about these keepsakes in a dedicated video. They will help account progression a lot. So if you don't have the necessary amount of pedestals, you will get roadblocked there. I am certainly roadblocked there myself, so that's a bit of a bummer. But I'm really prioritizing Sergius's Flame Relic, and then after that, I would really prioritize the pedestals, and then the Storm Relic would come next. The last shop is the Forbidden Dungeon. So in special shops, you can go to the Forbidden Dungeon shop, and here, the 2 most important things, in my opinion, are the Legendary Mastery Memory Stones. These are kind of like a wild card for chivalries on your heroes. So if you don't pull a legendary hero to level up their chivalry, you can get these Memory Mastery Stones, and you need 20 of them to get 1 chivalry. You also want to just stockpile these and throw them into Morgan. Morgan has amazing chivalries that really matter. A Chivalry 0 Morgan versus a Chivalry 1 Morgan is night and day difference. A Chivalry 2 Morgan versus a Chivalry 1 Morgan is a huge difference. And then a Chivalry 3 Morgan certainly outclasses the other 2 for sure. So if you can save up those Memory Mastery Stones, right here, to upgrade your Morgan to Chivalry 3, huge account progression. Huge. Makes auto-clearing things so much easier. Doing multiple runs to get nice items, while you're AFK. Huge deal. All right? So, Legendary Mastery Memory Stones, and then of course, the pedestals again, which are only 20 per month. So your clan shop is where you can get the most pedestals because you can get 40 of them a month there, where in the Forbidden Dungeon shop, you can only get 20. However, the nice thing about the Forbidden Dungeon is you get these tickets, right? You get 5 a day, and if you beat level 90 or whatever, you can get additional tickets, or I think it's the even numbers. I think it's every 5 dungeons, every 5 levels, you'll get a certain amount of tickets. So if you get stuck you want to go back to the most recent dungeon that you had, and you want to auto clear. So you get 5 tickets a day, and if you get up, I think, to level 80, I think level 80, which is going to be hard for a lot of people, is where you can get 3 pedestals per ticket. So that means that every day, if you get up to 80, you're then able to get 15 pedestals a day, which is huge. Yeah, at level 79, it's 2. So it's not a huge deal, but I'm saying, like, this is where you can generate the most pedestals. So a big deal there. And that is, you know, another tip is do not let these tickets go to waste. They do not stack. So if you don't use your 5 tickets in that day, it won't generate 5 more and you'll have 10. That's not how that works. So you need to use them every single day. The last few things that I'll mention are just like tiny little tips. You do have the ability to use these reset coins, you know, to get back some pedestals or some of the statues if you want to awaken some other heroes to progress in other dungeons. That is certainly something that you can do, but these reset coins are kind of expensive. They're 400 gems, and you get 4 of them a month in the shop. That's in the monthly shop over here. So if you go to packages and you go to monthly packages, this is where they are right here. So use them wisely, but they can be used to really help you with passive abilities. So whenever you are skilling up a passive ability, if all of these are unlocked, it is completely random. Now you might want to target specific passives because some of them are better than others. Like Bedivere's passive here, his first one is so good. So if you have a hero where the first passive is really good, what you want to do is actually keep them at the lowest level possible. Like let's say this level 20 character. You see how this passive is locked? If you wanted to, I could level this up right now before I level him up to his next possible level, which is 3 stars. So if he gets the ability to level up to level 30, this will unlock. But if I want to just level this up, I can skill this up now, and it will guaranteed go into this passive, which is great. And then last but not least, guys, account power. This is something that is really nice considering they give you items here, but Tier 21 actually gives all of your heroes attack speed 10. On 17, it gives you 5 more. Oh no, where is it? Oh yeah. So starting at Tier 5, and at Tier 1 to Tier 5, it will start giving you attack speed and then additional buffs. These things will matter. The attack speed is such a huge key in this game that leveling up your account is a key piece. The best way to do that is to level up heroes at least to level 20. Commons, uncommons, even if you're not using them, you should skill them up. But yeah, those are the things that I wish I knew. A lot of the stuff that I talked about at the beginning is the most important, and it might be the most controversial, but I truly believe it. If anyone has watched this and has learned some things, put some stuff in the comments, guys. Help the newer players that are going to be watching this video, whether you agree with my takes or not, and maybe some lessons that you've learned that would really help these new players. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.